Part 2 of Season 2 kicks off with Wednesday lying unconscious in her bed. Her parents, Gomez and Morticia, sit anxiously by her side. Morticia, especially, weighed down with guilt. But the moment they leave, something strange happens. Wednesday suddenly wakes up, and standing before her is none other than Principal Williams. Confused, she follows Williams out of the room and finds herself inside a haunting forest lined with countless doors. Williams explains she's here as Wednesday's spiritual guide because their bloodline connects all the way back to the 13th ancestor. Her mission? To help Wednesday regain the powers she's lost. But Williams also warns her those powers slipped away because she abused them. True to form, Wednesday meets all this with her signature cold indifference before Williams snaps her out of the vision. Meanwhile, over at Willow Hill Asylum, Judy is stepping up as interim head. During a press conference, she promises to capture the escaped patients, none other than Wednesday Addams, Tyler Galpin, and a grotesque half-dead, half-alive creature. But when Judy later gets a call from her assistant, he tells her he's dealt with all the escapees except Louise. Judy's response is chilling. Louise must be found and eliminated immediately. Not long after, Judy shows up at Wednesday's hospital room, warning her not to interfere in asylum business again. She reminds Wednesday that the hospital is her father's inheritance and deeply precious to her. Wednesday, of course, couldn't care less and walks away. But just then, she receives a cryptic message. Today, both you and Enid will die. Tyler suddenly appears at the hospital. Wednesday chases after him, but he slips away. Back in her room, she finds Enid and Williams waiting once again. But here's the catch. Only Wednesday can actually see Williams. Fearing for Enid's safety, Wednesday begs her to leave, but Enid refuses. She swears she'll never abandon her friend, no matter what. Wednesday insists she wants to save her, but Enid stands firm. She doesn't need saving. With that, she storms out.
And then comes the revelation. It's the Day of the Dead. That's why Williams has appeared as a guide. Wednesday asks if Williams can restore her powers, but Williams laughs it off. She isn't a genie. Wednesday must figure it out on her own. Their talk is cut short by Principal Dort, busy handing out free t-shirts and playing the politician. He boasts about celebrating both the Day of the Dead and Outcasts Memorial Day, though his obsession with money disgusts Wednesday. She warns him to cancel that evening's party, because with the Hyde still out there, countless lives are at risk, but greed wins out and Dort refuses. Meanwhile, Judy's assistant is on the hunt for Tyler, determined to take him down. Instead, Tyler sneaks up behind him and kills him. Moments later, the zombie creature lumbers in and begins feasting on the assistant's brain. Elsewhere, Wednesday searches her mother's home for clues about Thornhill, guided by William. When Morticia asks who she's talking to, Wednesday brushes it off as herself. But Morticia senses a spirit nearby. Then, a book mysteriously moves toward her. Inside, Morticia finds a formula created by Thornhill, directly linked to Tyler. She begs Wednesday not to get involved, but Wednesday knows she must find a way to end all this. At the same time, Enid and Bruno sit together, worried about how they can help. Enid suddenly gets an idea. She'll reactivate the Nightshade. With things' help, she begins summoning the members, though Agnes secretly spies on them. Back at the crime scene, Sheriff Santiago examines the remains of Judy's assistant and concludes that Tyler is now working alongside the zombie. The claw marks on the body say it all.
That evening, Gomez and Pugsley attend the festival, unaware that the zombie has already arrived among the crowd. Meanwhile, Agnes rushes to Wednesday with urgent news. The Nightshades are gathering tonight. Sure enough, they meet in secret. Ajax protests Enid's involvement. She's not an official member, but Wednesday arrives and silences the debate. She makes it clear they have to unite if they want to stop Tyler, who's targeting both her and Enid. Later, Wednesday retrieves the Nightshade plant mentioned in Thornhill's formula. She believes this will allow her to control Tyler, to make him her servant. Williams appears again, warning her not to use Enid as bait. But Wednesday insists this is the only way to protect her. Williams reminds her Tyler killed Thornhill, and he could kill her too. But Wednesday refuses to back down. Meanwhile, at the festival, the zombie has already begun feasting on the guests, throwing the entire event into chaos. Pugsley realizes the horror unfolding and urges his father to rush inside. Inside the festival, Pugsley goes to confirm if the creature is really there, but what he finds shocks him. The zombie suddenly shifts into a human form and even speaks. He pleads with Pugsley to let him escape, reminding him that they're friends and he needs help. When the creature walks out, he locks eyes with Gomez in a moment of pure astonishment. What does it mean? We'll find out out later. Pugsley, however, tells his father he found nothing inside. Gomez doesn't push. He just embraces his son. Meanwhile, back at Morticia's house, one of the escaped inmates, Louise, shows up. To our surprise, Louise and Morticia were old friends. Louise confesses something shocking. Tyler is her son. She was once married to Sheriff Galpin, and now she begs Morticia to help save him.
Elsewhere, the Nightshades prepare for Tyler's arrival. Enid bravely steps out to act as bait, knowing full well that Tyler wants her dead. Revenge for Season 1 when she defeated him and ensured his capture. Tyler takes the bait and goes after her, but the Nightshades quickly surround him. From their words, we learn Tyler's strength is fading. Killing his former master, Thornhill, has weakened him. That's when Wednesday arrives with Thornhill's organic compound. Her plan? To inject Tyler and claim him as her new servant. But before she can act, a second hide suddenly bursts onto the scene. This new creature nearly finishes Wednesday off until Morticia intervenes. She steps forward, declaring she has an agreement with the new hide. The creature spares Wednesday, seizes Tyler, and disappears. And here's the twist. This hide is female, and from Morticia's conversation, Wednesday realizes she's none other than Tyler's mother. Morticia scolds her daughter for being reckless, while Wednesday coldly warns her, trusting Louise was a mistake. A hide can never be trusted. At last, Tyler comes face to face with his mother, reunited after years of believing she was dead. Meanwhile, the zombie reappears, this time at Judy's house, ready to strike her down. On the other side of town, Enid trains hard, only to transform suddenly into a werewolf. Her mentor, Capri, is stunned. This isn't even a full moon. She tells Enid this means she might be an alpha wolf, a rare gift that grants immense strength, but it comes with a curse. If she ever shifts under a full moon, she may remain a wolf forever. And then we roll into episode 6, Woe Thyself. It opens with a surreal scene. Wednesday, of all people, wearing colorful makeup, dressed in bright clothes, and acting bubbly. Just like Enid, she's social, cheerful, and smiling, shocking the students around her. Over it all, Enid's voice echoes. Admit it, this is Wednesday Addams as you never wanted to see her. But how did things get to this point? To understand, we rewind 36 hours earlier.
Wednesday, Enid, and the Addams family sit before Dort and Sheriff Santiago for an inquiry. Dort scolds Enid and kicks her out, while Wednesday reminds him bitterly that she had warned Tyler would be there. Morticia, however, insists there's no need to fear the hide, because Louise, her old school friend, had promised never to return, and now she's Tyler's mistress. Williams then appears to Wednesday, laying the blame on her shoulders. Not one hide, but two have been unleashed because of her actions. She insists it's Wednesday's responsibility to stop them and save Enid, or this nightmare will never end. She also urges Wednesday to mend the broken bonds with her family. Later, Wednesday questions her professor about Francois. He reveals that Francois was once his student, and more importantly, the sister of Isaac, the most brilliant talent Nevermore had ever seen. He tells the tragic tale of Isaac, how he built a secret lab in the clock tower, how it led to his own death, and how he was buried beneath a tree. Suddenly, the truth clicks. Isaac is the zombie. Yes, dear viewer, keep your eyes open, because the events ahead are about to explode. Wednesday rushes to Pugsley, demanding everything he knows about the zombie. He confirms it's Isaac Knight, and hands her a picture he picked up. From it, Wednesday deduces Isaac must be searching for his sister. Meanwhile, Tyler confronts his mother, Francois. He's stunned. He buried her years ago, but she reveals the chilling truth. The doctor declared her dead and secretly took her for experiments. And that doctor, none other than Judy's father. All the threads tied together at last. Francois then makes her position clear. She is Tyler's mistress now, and he must obey. Elsewhere, Capri visits Enid, confirming she saw her transformation. She explains that Enid might truly be an alpha wolf, a role that could grant incredible power, but also curse her to remain a wolf if she transforms under a full moon. Enid trembles with fear, but Capri reassures her there is a way to control it.
At the same time, Wednesday turns to her grandmother, desperate for answers. She asks about Ontopelia, tells her about Francois and Tyler, and reveals the terrifying truth. Two hides are roaming free. She begs her grandmother to help her restore her powers, because without them, she cannot hope to win this fight. Wednesday is guided to Rootwood's grave, a place that might just hold the answer she's been searching for. But of course, our dear Wednesday refuses to let anyone in on her plan, not even Enid. She slips away alone, trying to protect her friend. What she doesn't know is that Enid won't take no for an answer and secretly follows her into the night. At the grave, Wednesday whispers the ancient incantations carved into the stone, and like dark magic awakening, Rootwood answers. She offers Wednesday a way to regain her powers, but there's a catch. It comes at a terrible price. Just as Wednesday reaches into the fire, Enid grabs her arm, and in a single flash, both collapse. When morning comes, horror strikes. Wednesday wakes up in Enid's body and Enid in Wednesday's. Yes, dear viewer, their souls have switched, and trust me, neither one can survive long like this. Enid begs for a solution. Wednesday vows to fix it, and so begins a dangerous race against time. But things spiral fast. Enid, trapped in Wednesday's dark shell, starts behaving oddly, ordering a colorful drink of all things, only to break out in a painful rash. Morticia notices and quietly helps her. Meanwhile, Wednesday, stuck in Enid's bright, bubbly body, returns to Rootwood's grave, where Williams appears with a chilling warning. If the girls don't switch back within 24 hours, they'll both die. Elsewhere, Isaac finally reveals himself to Francois, proving he's alive. At first, she doesn't believe him, even points a gun at him, but when the truth sinks in, she embraces him and introduces him to Tyler as his long-lost uncle. But Francois is gravely ill, coughing up blood. The curse of the Hydes is eating her alive. Too much power, too short a life. Isaac promises a cure, one hidden inside the asylum's twisted machines.
Back with Wednesday, she's trying to clear her head through music when Professor Capri walks in. Stunned by her talent, thinking she's Enid, he warns her, lock yourself in the iron cage before nightfall or risk becoming a wolf forever. Wednesday soon finds a clue. Rootwood once lived in Morticia's house. She sneaks inside, uncovering a secret chamber of the dead, where Rootwood delivers a haunting truth. The only way to return to her real body is to be willing to die inside this foreign one. Morticia interrupts, suspicious, and throws her out, demanding Wednesday show up at family dinner. Meanwhile, Enid stumbles across Wednesday's private journal, only to read brutal words describing her as shallow, silly, and obsessed with appearances. Heartbroken and furious, Enid decides to get her revenge by dressing in bright colors and dancing in front of the entire school. The students are stunned. Wednesday Addams dancing like a rainbow? Impossible. But as the colors trigger her allergy, the scene turns chaotic, and Wednesday, watching, boils with anger. The tension doesn't stop there. Wednesday overhears Bruno betraying Enid, talking sweetly to another girl overseas. She shocks him by speaking perfect Filipino, exposing him on the spot and breaking things off. He thinks it's Enid dumping him, but of course, it's Wednesday inside her body. Capri rushes in, begging her to get into the cage before it's too late. All of this unfolds under Agnes's watchful eye. She notices Wednesday is acting strange, breaking up with Bruno, sneaking off to werewolf protection cages, and when she confronts her, Enid lashes out in rage, wounding Agnes deeply. And then, family dinner. Enid, still in Wednesday's body, sits across from Morticia, but Morticia feels something is wrong. She senses Wim's spirit lingering in the room and demands the truth. That's when Williams appears, ready to reveal everything. At Rootwood's grave, the truth finally cuts deep. Wednesday's body has been swapped with Enid's. The most chilling proof? The Enid, sitting among them, can't even see Rootwood's spirit. The warning is clear. If the girls don't fix this curse before dawn, both of their lives will end with the sunrise. Meanwhile, in the professor's office, Isaac makes his move. Driven by hunger and ambition, he devours the professor's brain, completing his transformation into a fully formed human. Agnes witnesses the horror, screams, and then vanishes, while Isaac drains the professor's energy source and walks away coldly. With the stolen power in hand, he heads straight to Willow Hill Asylum, the cursed place starving for electricity. He isn't alone. Tyler and Francois ride with him, unaware that Agnes has secretly hidden herself inside the trunk. Back at Nevermore, Enid pleads with Wednesday. They must undo the swap before dawn, but just then, a desperate call comes in. Agnes is trapped inside the car with Isaac, Tyler, and Francois. She manages to send her location, and Wednesday realizes the asylum is their destination. Inside Willow Hill, Isaac prepares a twisted cure for Francois, stripping her of her Hyde nature, making her permanently human. But Tyler spots movement in the shadows and captures Enid, locking her in a cell. By the time Wednesday arrives, the procedure has already begun. A vicious fight breaks out. Just as Tyler closes in, Wednesday, still trapped in Enid's body, transforms into a full wolf, unleashing her primal fury and overpowering him. The girls manage to stop the treatment and flee just before the entire lab erupts in flames. Outside, relief washes over them. Agnes now fully understands. Enid had been the one speaking to her all along, and their friendship with Wednesday remains intact. Together, the girls return to Rootwood's grave, where the body swap is finally reversed. Wednesday and Enid collapsed back into their rightful forms. With a smirk, Wednesday orders Enid to go take a shower, but there's no time to breathe. Williams leads Wednesday to another grave, where she uncovers a grim prophecy. The one fated to die isn't Enid after all, It's someone from the Addams family.
Episode 7 opens with a hunting flashback. 15 years earlier, inside a tavern called Morning Song, a young Principal Dort meets a struggling actor, Arnold Hunt. Dort offers him a deal. Arnold will be the charming public face of a new school for outcasts, while Dort secretly pulls the strings from the shadow. Back in the present, Santiago investigates the professor's mysterious death, reminding Principal Dort that she must now secure Nevermore. Meanwhile, Wednesday reveals the truth to her friends, that it's an Addams family member destined to die, not Enid. She demands answers from her parents about Isaac. Morticia and Gomez finally confess. Isaac was once their friend, obsessed with science. Gomez admits he never realized Isaac had become a zombie until seeing him at the festival. But Wednesday adds the darkest twist. Isaac is no longer a zombie. He's now fully human, making him even more dangerous. Later, in a private moment with her mother, Wednesday grimly jokes that if someone in the family must die, she'd gladly sacrifice Pugsley. At school, Enid confides in Professor Capri, who warns her about the danger of transforming into an alpha wolf under the full moon. If she does, she'll be trapped in wolf form forever and hunted down by her own kind. To survive, she must obey protocol and lock herself in the iron cages before nightfall. Elsewhere, Isaac, Tyler, and Francois realize Francois's treatment has run out, forcing them to return to the asylum for more. Wednesday tracks them to their hideout, but by the time she arrives, they're already gone. When she returns to school, she finds her grandmother, who delivers a shocking twist. Instead of donating to Dort's cause, she declares she'll take pleasure in watching his despair. Even when Dort tempts her with promises to dedicate part of Nevermore in her family's name, she refuses at first. Dort is clever. He manipulates Bianca, forcing her to use her siren's voice to enchant her grandmother into pledging her entire fortune to him.
The next morning, the Addams family is stunned. Wednesday quickly realizes Dort has exploited Bianca's powers. She challenges Bianca to a duel, defeats her, and forces her to confess. Bianca admits everything, but in a sudden turn, she enchants Wednesday, making her forget the entire conversation. Luckily, Agnes had been eavesdropping. Later, she recounts the truth to Wednesday. When Wednesday demands she reveal herself, Agnes steps forward, looking exactly like Wednesday. She claims she isn't the real one, only a copy. That night, Principal Dort confronts Bianca, bringing along Arnold Hunt. Principal Dort corners Bianca, but this time he isn't alone. He's brought Arnold Hunt, who is revealed to be her father. Arnold demands his share of the profits, but Dort coldly refuses. The tension boils over until in one horrific moment, Dort burns Arnold alive right in front of his own daughter. But there's no time for grief. The night of the grand party arrives. This is the moment when Wednesday's grandmother is expected to pledge her fortune, and when Enid must finally perform her long-awaited dance. Wednesday urges Bianca to trust her, promising she has a plan. Meanwhile, Enid anxiously waits for Bruno after their reconciliation, but instead of him, the girl he's been secretly cheating with shows up. Enid's heart sinks. With quiet strength, she tells the girl she won't fight for Bruno, because that's not who she is. She walks away, choosing dignity over drama, and sits alone in the corner until Agnes approaches. Agnes confesses that Wednesday's harsh words broke her. All she ever wanted was to be like her. But Enid, in her gentle way, tells her the truth. One Wednesday is enough for this world. You don't need to be a copy. You're special as yourself. For the first time, Agnes decides to embrace her own identity.
Outside, Pugsley sneaks away from the party, completely unaware that Isaac is lurking in the shadows, watching. Back inside, Wednesday rallies her allies. She asks Enid for help and even includes Agnes, telling her she finally looks unique. Agnes snaps back that Wednesday's opinion doesn't matter anymore. Wednesday simply smirks. Good. And then, it's time. Enid begins her dazzling dance routine, joined by Agnes, clearly designed for the TikTok generation. The choreography is bold, modern, and unforgettable. During the performance, Agnes cleverly uses her invisibility as part of the show, but behind the act, she slips away, stealing the artifact that shields Principal Dort from Bianca's magic. As the dance ends, Bianca seizes the microphone. She calls Principal Dort and Morticia to the stage and unleashes her siren power. Under her spell, Dort is forced to confess everything. He admits he ordered Bianca to enchant Morticia, and when that failed, he used her again to manipulate Wednesday's grandmother into giving away her entire fortune. He even confesses to his pact with Arnold, who is now nothing but ashes. The crowd is horrified. Dort, enraged, threatens to kill Bianca on the spot, but Ajax steps in, unleashing his Gorgon power, turning the principal to stone. A massive chandelier crashes from above, shattering him into pieces. The nightmare of Principal Dort is over. The Addams family, for once, are proud of Wednesday. But celebration quickly turns to dread. Eugene bursts bursts in with urgent news. Isaac is in the Nevermore Cemetery, and he has Pugsley. Wednesday races there, but when she arrives, Pugsley is nowhere to be found. Episode 8 begins. This means woe.
Wednesday turns to Morticia and wheezes. Together, they must combine their psychic powers with her grandmother's to find her brother. They sit in a solemn circle, channeling their abilities. Wednesday is hit with a vision. She sees her parents burying Isaac long ago. When she wakes, she demands the truth from her mother. Morticia finally reveals the dark past. Isaac once built a machine meant to strip Francois of her monstrous powers and make her fully human. But the machine required a massive energy source. Gomez, Isaac's closest friend, was the target. Isaac betrayed him, draining his life force, even though it meant killing him. The machine malfunctioned, destroying Isaac and leaving Gomez powerless as punishment. Isaac was buried in the very grave he had dug for Gomez. Now, Wednesday realizes Isaac's true plan. He wants to use Pugsley as the new energy source, just as he once used Gomez. Soon, Eugene delivers Isaac's challenge, a message: meet him at midnight at the grave. Wednesday prepares for the showdown. She and Thing set a trap of arrows, but at the crucial moment, Thing misses his cue. Isaac walks away unharmed. Tyler locks Thing in a glass case, and Isaac reveals the most twisted truth of all. Thing is actually his severed hand, cut off by Morticia during one of his early experiments. Since then, the hand became part of the Addams family. Now, Isaac reattaches it, restoring himself. With his strength renewed, he shoves Wednesday into the grave and buries her alive. Agnes watches in horror before rushing to Enid. Without hesitation, Enid runs to save her friend. She digs desperately, but her human strength isn't enough. With time running out, she makes the ultimate sacrifice, transforming into a wolf under the full moon. The cost? She will remain a wolf forever.
With her newfound power, Enid claws Wednesday free, pulling her back from death. Wednesday, ever the morbid soul, smirks that she actually enjoyed the near-death experience. But when she sees Enid, now permanently a wolf, her cold mask cracks with shock. Agnes explains there was no other way. Enid, devastated, runs off into the night, while Wednesday begs Agnes to track her. Meanwhile, Isaac, Francois, and Tyler arrive at the Clock Tower lab. Isaac uses his restored hand to power the machines. Pugsley is chained to a chair, and then the devastating twist is revealed. Francois and Isaac are doing this not out of malice, but to save Tyler. Their goal: strip him of his hide powers, fulfilling Isaac's promise to his sister. At that same moment, Morticia and Wednesday arrive, storming into the lab. The procedure begins. Just when all hope seems lost, Wednesday bursts into the lab. She breaks Tyler's restraints, unleashing the beast within him. He transforms into a savage Hyde, and with one crushing blow, knocks Isaac unconscious. In the chaos, Wednesday frees her brother. Tyler then turns his fury on his own mother, forcing Francois to reveal her monstrous Hyde form. What follows is a brutal clash, family against family, monster against monster, until the lab itself collapses in a fiery explosion, just like the one that destroyed Isaac years ago.
But this time, the Addams family doesn't stand alone. Thing, reminded that he is and always will be one of them, fights with everything he has. Fueled by loyalty and friendship, he attacks Isaac relentlessly until he tears out his mechanical heart. At last, Isaac is finished. Thing is free, and once again at Wednesday's side. With the battle over, Agnes returns with news. She's found Enid. Somewhere far away, Tyler is approached by Capri, who promises to help him master his terrifying hide powers. Morticia and Wednesday share a quiet farewell with Weems, who reveals her role in their story is complete. But Wednesday refuses to go home. Her mission is clear. She must find Enid no matter the cost. Just then, her powers return in a haunting vision of Aunt Aaliyah, whose mystery lingers unsolved. And then comes the final chilling reveal. Wednesday's grandmother has been hiding Aaliyah, locked away in a secret room. Scrawled on the walls are 3 words that freeze the blood: Wednesday must die. As the vision fades, Wednesday whispers her vow: I am determined to unearth every lie and every deception, or die trying. The screen cuts to black. Season 2 ends.